Hey, welcome to Bingebar. Today we'll be talking about some of the biggest and baddest arrests and prison sentences for some of the worst players to ever partake in the NHL. Without wasting any time, let's just get right into this. The NHL has always been a sport of violence, with bone-crushing checks into the boards, constant poke checking, and the possibility of some fights breaking out at any moment. It is easily watchable with an element that everybody is sure to love. Some have committed serious crimes, while others, they've just committed the bare minimum. Moving on to our list. Anybody remember the name Bob Probert? One of the most rugged, dangerous, and most straight-up intimidating enforcers of the Detroit Red Wings. While he was fighting players on the ice, he was fighting a life of drugs off the ice. In March of 1989, he was arrested for drug possession and sentenced to 90 days in prison. He was also a guy that was in and out of rehab multiple times, so he didn't really have much of a chance to stay out of prison, as it turns out. This one tends to be on the darker side of this list. Most of the people that have been pulled over for drinking were only, pulled over for that. But in 2003, Rob Ramage, the beloved hockey player who played for over 6 NHL teams, who had a decently healthy career, went out drinking one night and, like many others, did not know when to stop. Ramage, behind the wheel of his own car, struck 2 people, killing one and severely injuring the other. This landed him a 4-year prison sentence for vehicle manslaughter. Of the 4 years he was sentenced, he only served 10 months because of, good behavior. For such a tragic crime committed to the victims of the family, Ramage caught a huge break, only having to serve 10 months out of the 48 he was originally sentenced, less than 1/4. Former St. Louis Blues center Mike Danton was arrested and pleaded guilty in July of 2004. But if you don't remember him, don't sweat it, it's really not your fault. He was only in the league 4 years, playing for both the St. Louis Blues and the New Jersey Devils. But Danton was sentenced to a 7.5-year prison sentence. And unlike most players on our list, he didn't get off with only having to serve 90 days with a small fine. He was put away for just a little over 5 years. What he was convicted for is a little strange, though. Definitely one of the strangest and cold-blooded crime stories in the history of the NHL. Mike Danton was arrested for quote-unquote conspiracy to commit a murder. Danton allegedly hired a hitman to go out and murder his agent. Danton was under various drugs at the time and felt if he didn't kill his agent would kill him. Montreal is known for many things. Manslaughter, sadly one of them, but nobody likes to talk about that. Years and years and years and years ago, there was a Montreal Canadian by the name of Tony Demers. Now, Demers is not remembered for what he did on the ice, but sadly he is remembered for the horrible crime that he committed off the ice. He was convicted of manslaughter because he injured his wife so badly that she had to be hospitalized. A few days later, she was pronounced dead from all the wounds inflicted by Tony Demers. But somehow Demers received a 15-year sentence, but ended up getting off easy with having to serve 6. Probably the largest sentence in the history of the NHL belongs to Mike McBain. Mike McBain was accused of sexually assaulting a girl for years. He was given a 4 to 15-year sentence for his partaking in the sexual assaulting and is still in prison to this day. Finally, some good news. The worst part about his story is not only was it sexual assault, but it was sexual assault to a minor, making him possibly the worst guy on our list today. Lastly on our list, and once again, this is by no means in any kind of order, is Steve Durbano. Steve Durbano played for teams such as the Pittsburgh Penguins and the St. Louis Blues. He was known for fighting, as he loved getting into multiple fights and spent much of the time in the NHL in the penalty box. When he wasn't fighting other enforcers on the ice, he was smuggling drugs in his spare time. He was arrested in 1983 for drug smuggling and given a 7-year prison sentence. Even after his first sentence, he couldn't stay out of trouble. He was arrested and put in prison several other times for crimes like drunk driving. Well, that just about wraps up one of the darker videos that we've ever posted onto this channel. Currently, though, we're working on the most embarrassing arrests in NHL history. So if you like this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe for future comment. Thank you. We'll see you next time.